At the beginning of the new millennium, a global technological breakthrough occurs. People no longer keep dogs and cats at home, but buy robots instead. It turns out that the family of Richard Martin acquires an unusual gift, a new generation robot NDR-114, whom they name Andrew. He has normal relations with almost all members of the family, but he is most drawn to Richard's youngest daughter, Amanda. This is especially enhanced after an interesting incident. Andrew accidentally breaks Amanda's favorite glass skater and, to make up for his guilt, carves her a new one from pieces of wood. He likes it and creates a few more figurines. Richard, surprised by the awakening of creative abilities in the robot, together with Andrew visits the director of NA Robotics, Dennis Mansky, to find out if there were any other similar cases with NDR models. The result is ambiguous. Mansky confirms that this is a unique case, but sees it as a problem and offers Richard to remake Andrew or replace him. Richard refuses and instead decides to give the robot the opportunity not only to develop his creative skills, but also begins to introduce him more and more into the human world. As a result, Andrew gradually transforms spiritually, becoming more like a human. He also creates a huge number of very high-quality mechanical clocks and organizes a profitable business for their sale. But Richard has to dispose of the funds from this business, because robots do not have such rights. 15 years pass. Amanda has grown up and is getting married, asking Andrew to be the chauffeur. After Andrew accidentally loses his finger, Richard still takes him to Mansky for repair, but beforehand installs an alarm for insurance, so that the director does not try to implement his old idea of changing the robot's brain. Also, at Andrew's request, they update his body, so that he can wear clothes, and change his face to a rubber one with the ability to mimic. After the wedding, Richard expresses sorrow that there are fewer people in the house now, but Andrew assures his owner that he will not leave him. This one is still here. However, after 12 years, Andrew still feels the desire to become independent and even gives Richard a check for all the money he earned. Richard does not accept them, but realizing after talking with Amanda that he actually turned the robot into a human, frees him from his duties as a butler and kicks him out. Andrew builds his own house on the beach. Another 16 years later, Richard, on his deathbed, still calls Andrew back to say goodbye and apologizes. After that, wanting to find robots similar to him, Andrew embarks on a long journey. For this he attracts Amanda's grown-up son Lloyd Sharney, whose father she divorced by then. Lloyd, who disliked Andrew since childhood, initially refused, but learning that the expedition will take about 10 years, agrees, just to get rid of him. During his wanderings, Andrew finds several relatives, but they all either perform strictly defined commands, in other words, behave like ordinary robots, or are out of order. Finally, the hero meets a brilliant engineer, Rupert Burns, whose late father used to work at NA Robotics but was fired from there and founded his own company. Together with his assistant Galatea, female version of Andrew, similar to him in her advanced AI and mimicry, Rupert transforms Andrew into an android who looks like a living middle-aged man, and he returns home where he meets an aged Amanda and her granddaughter Portia Sharney, who is indistinguishable from her in her youth. At first Portia and Andrew argue but soon find common ground and become friends. After Amanda's sudden death, Andrew decides to save all his friends from death and together with Rupert starts mass production of biosynthetic internal organs, heart, kidney, and even nervous system. In addition to distribution for civilians, Andrew inserts them into himself and thus becomes something like a cyborg. Then Andrew unexpectedly notices that he is jealous of Portia's potential groom, which means he is in love with her. In the end, in the same church where Amanda got married, Andrew confesses his love to Portia and they start living together. To avoid any complaints from society, Andrew makes a speech in World Court to have him recognized as a human. But the judge says that the positronic brain makes Andrew immortal, which causes too much anger and envy. Upset, Andrew continues to live his former life. Several more decades pass. Andrew and Portia are still together. During this time, she also underwent several procedures for transplanting artificial organs and took rejuvenating drugs, so she looks 20 years younger than she really is. However, she eventually decides to tell Andrew that she does not intend to live forever and wants to die someday. Then Andrew, remembering his old conversation with Richard, makes a difficult decision to replace his synthetic blood with biological one, which will cause irreversible destruction of his body over an unknown period of time that is cause a normal death from a human point of view. Andrew dies at the age of 200 just a few moments before the new judge delivers a verdict recognizing Andrew as a human. Seeing this, Portia asks Galatea, whom Rupert also gave a fully human appearance as he once did to Andrew, to disconnect her from the life support device. Did you enjoy the movie? If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more movie summaries. We will do our best to bring you a new summary every day, so stay tuned and don't miss out. Thank you for watching and see you next time.